Hi, welcome to Planetary Calendar's Weekly Forecast. I'm Ralph Dimitrius, one of the astrologers. This week, we're going to cover February 8th through the 14th, 2021. This is a fun week because during it, we have the Chinese New Year, and at the end of the week, we have Valentine's Day. So, ta-da! I mean, this is like a celebratory week. It's wonderful.
So you get the fun ones.
Yes, finally. Yeah, usually Lahni gets the fun ones, but I get it this time. Now, it starts off with a bit of a boom because on the first day, on the 8th, Monday, you have the Sun conjunct Mercury. Now, it's interesting when you look at a person's chart and that happens when Mercury's conjunct the Sun. They actually call it combust. The idea is that it's just the person like channels their Sun when they speak. The reality is that the Mercury is in between the Sun and the Earth at that point. And so you're in a situation where your ideas are kind of merging. You know, you may feel during these Mercury conjunct the Sun like your circuits are a little more easily fried. So be careful of that. You know, just be aware of that. You know, don't get yourself in situations where you're overexposing yourself to electromagnetic fields or to too much information. You know, turn off the news.
And remember, Mercury's still retrograde, so you're going to feel that, internalize that.
Yeah, and it's Mercury in Aquarius, which is a very highly charged Mercury. It's what's called the exaltation position. So really be very careful with your nervous system on that Monday, okay? Uranus, Mars, and Neptune are all making nice aspects to the moon, which is in Capricorn. The Uranus, of course, and the Mars are both trine there. From Taurus, and Neptune is sextile from Pisces. So it's nice. It's very supported that way, but it's that Mercury conjunct the Sun. Just chill a little bit. On the next day, Tuesday, the moon moves into Aquarius at the end of the day, and the entire day has a void of course, okay, in Capricorn, which is a very introvert position for the moon. So it's not going to be a day in which you feel like going out there and socializing and being active, okay? After work, after 5:20, you'll feel like that when the moon goes into Aquarius. But during the day, it's actually kind of a nice day for, intimate talks, things that matter to you emotionally, things that maybe you have to talk to someone about something serious. It's actually kind of good for that. But because it's void of course, it's going to be hard to stay on track. And the only major, it's not even that major of an aspect going on, is Pluto in Capricorn, which is going to conjunct the moon in the course of the day. So once again, it intensifies again. You're going to have it's going to be a bit of an intense day. So once again, the week's starting off a little bit rough. Okay? Just a little bit rough. And we can pretty much blame Saturn for this because it's the two ruling signs of Saturn, Capricorn and Aquarius. By the Wednesday, though, things do start lightening up a little bit. The moon, at least, is now into Aquarius. The void, of course, was, gone. The moon in Aquarius is a very nice social moon, and you have Saturn, Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury all making nice aspects to the moon. And when you have that happen, that many planets above the numbers, they tend to be fun days because, the planets are engaged. It's like going someplace and you keep bumping into friends, or going to your house and you keep bumping into cousins and siblings and people you like. It's everyone's playing nice that day. That's good. Now, the only thing that's going on that's a little tricky here is this Uranus is squaring the moon. Watch out for food poisoning. Watch out for things kind of out of the blue that way related to, it's Uranus and Taurus squaring the moon. Don't you think? You'd want to watch.
I got you, but I don't like that idea of food poisoning.
Well, then watch out for eating things that don't agree with you. Okay, if you start getting agita, take something for it. Take some calcium carbonate. It's at the same time that Mercury is square Mars. And Mercury and Mars are the two that like to get into it. So when Mercury squares Mars, you have to watch out for sparring going on in the course of the day. And yet, like I said, there's so many nice aspects to the moon in the course of the day. It's probably be good-hearted sparring. Now it is Mercury retrograde still, so they may tap you, but it won't hurt.
So the younger brother's going to get beat up by the older brother.
Probably, yeah. Probably, but not seriously. On the next day, the 11th, and this is one of the big days of the week. This is the new moon in Aquarius. It's going to happen at 11:05 a.m. on the 11th, the Thursday. This is what the Chinese New Year is based on. Okay, this is the date. This is the beginning of the cycle for the entire growing year. On that day, the sun is conjunct the moon, of course, is the new moon, but Venus is also conjunct Jupiter. Now, these are called the benefics. These are like the good guys on the chart, Venus and Jupiter, and they're also conjunct in Aquarius. And make sure you watch our Chinese New Year forecast for 2021, because we have a huge conjunction, this stellium happening in Aquarius, filled with light. And this is going to be a very bright day. I mean, you've got the moon is going to be in Aquarius early in the day, so it's the moon, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, the sun, all in Aquarius on that day. So it's going to be really luminous. And the only big square going on is the square from those planets there to the, by sign, they're not exact that day, to Mars and Uranus, which is going to set the tone for the entire year. So make sure you watch that forecast. But it's going to be a very luminous day, though it's the new moon. So all the energy is drawn back inside. Like, this is the time of the day where you can bounce an egg on end. Don't put it on a hard table. Put it on like a book, or put it on a coaster or something like that. But you can bounce an egg on its end because all the energy is being pulled in. Now, the next day, the 12th, the Friday, which is a white circle, is the day in which the Chinese New Year is celebrated. It's always the first full day after the new moon when it's celebrated. Not always. They vary a little bit. But this has we've had this void, of course, that ended from when the moon went from Aquarius into Pisces. I should go back to the 11th, from 11:05 to 11:23 p.m. So the afternoon is a void, of course, and there's a void, of course, in Aquarius. So this would be a great day for getting like inspirations, but make sure you carry a pad around with you and write them down, because stuff is going to be just like lightning bolts coming out of the head, coming out of the sky into your head. So let's get on to the 12th. Sorry. It's such a powerful day, it's kind of hard not to focus on it. It's like a magnet that draws everything towards it. Let's get on to the 12th. Sorry. The moon is now in Pisces. Uranus is making a nice aspect to it from Taurus. Mercury is conjunct Venus. Venus is parallel Jupiter. The sun is parallel the moon. The only thing that you might say is a little wild about this is that you have on the next day another white circle day. So you're having a series of white circle days. The 12th, the 13th, and the 14th are all white circle days. You're having a lot of aspects one day after another. On the 13th, the moon's still in Pisces. You got Mars, Neptune, and Pluto making nice aspects to the moon. You got Mars sextile Neptune and the sun parallel Mercury. That's the Saturday. And then on the 14th, on Valentine's Day, the moon has moved into Aries early in the morning, early in the day. Saturn's making a nice aspect to the moon, but very, very early in the day. And then Mercury's conjunct Jupiter. So it's going to be great, but you may feel a bit overwhelmed.
And good stress is just as stressful as bad stress that will get out your adaptogens, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, but at least good stress doesn't usually make you cry in pain.
Yeah.
Makes you cry for joy. So there's really going to be a whole feeling of uplifting energy over these several days. Take advantage of it. It doesn't help if there's uplifting energy around you if you hide in your closet.
It's empowering.
It's very empowering. Really take advantage of this current. Make sure it's at your back and you're riding along with it. Get out in the sunshine. Take advantage of the brightness. Get away from all the electromagnetic fields in your home and out into the world, because you will feel this uplifting energy of these 3 white circles in a row. So that's pretty much the week. It's a powerhouse. Like I said, make sure you watch our Chinese New Year forecast for the entire year. This is the year of the metal Ox, which traditionally is a very, very good year, especially financially. So, and I will say that the forecast is quite interesting. So that's it for this week. Make sure you come and see us at Planetary Calendar Astrology on YouTube. We do our forecasts, of course, on Fridays. We do our portraits on Tuesdays. You can also come find your calendars at planetarycalendar.com, along with our books on astrology, on feng shui, and on health. So until next time, be well.